As I approach Carl's room, I smell it before I even open the door.
Ew, boy.
It's a boy room.
Ew, musk in there.
I think it's the smoke. I think it's because he smokes in this room constantly.
I think that it
out.
smells like sweaty balls in there.
You think he's just gross all the time?
I know we just started, but I have to say, my friend told me about this club in the city, in the Bay Area, where they have a musk night, and you have to show up without wearing deodorant. It's a part of the club.
Musk night?
Yeah. It's a musk night they have every month. And it's a deodorantless night.
Fun. It sounds like a fucking furry convention, like room party.
Sounds like all the anime conventions I've been to. You walk through those aisles,
just the normal convention.
It's just the normal.
That's just what it's like. I had what is it?
Waifus like it when you shower, guys.
I joined the
waifus like it the best.
I joined the local Pokemon Go Discord like 3 years ago or something. I haven't looked at it since back then, but this is before the pandemic mostly. And they tried having a local like Pokemon Go tournament, and there were straight up warnings like you will be thrown out if you smell. Like
Dude,
like in these spaces you just have to like police people because they will not deal with it.
I don't know why this is such a problem. I don't know why. Like the furry convention, I get it because you're in suits and it's really hard to control your sweating. Like I understand this, right? But you gotta like.
Well, I was also saying it sounds like a furry convention, a room party, which is when people are getting together in the hotel for specific choices. I wasn't saying the convention.
So
is
did
full
they
of
just
stinky
contain
people.
their smell? Like they just put their suits on afterwards and just scoop all that smell in there, so they can just waft in it during the whole convention.
I don't like this topic anymore. I don't know. I've been in multiple friend groups where they've had to just preemptively warn people about one particular person that's going to be coming by for whatever event at one point or this get together, and just like, yeah, it's just how he is. Like, there's just certain people in certain groups that just are just known for like their lack of hygiene, and it shows that everyone can find friendship somehow because they warn people about them, but like they're still inviting them. So I guess that's that.
That is a really good point. There's hope for us everywhere in this world, y'all.
He's reclined on his bed, an arm thrown over his face, the big window above him open. Clothes are scattered all over the floor, along with a few empty water bottles and bowls. Every inch of the walls is covered in posters like I remember, along with a few on the ceiling.
It's like my room.
I hate when people just sit around with a bunch of bowls just around.
Oh, I don't mean the bowls part for my room. I meant the wall posters. Yeah. Sorry, clarify.
No, I just hate this. I've had housemate situations before where just all of the dishes just gradually disappear in the house. And you just gradually realize that they're all in one person's room who's just been like stacking them as they use them and never dealing with it.
I've had the misfortune of dating straight boys occasionally. And boy,
traumatic.
Is that a fucking thing? Of all the categories of individuals in terms of gross rooms, it's probably the one I would say was most likely to be the worst. The amount of like food items and like half-eaten food items and like forks and stuff, dude. I'm like, guys, please.
No, I don't like it. I don't like this at all. Bookcases line the opposite wall, filled to the brim with comics and toys and pop figures. That's where the horror.
They're
of this
not
game,
out yet.
That's where the horror of this game begins. It's their uprising. He raises his arm as I walk in and smiles.
Sorry about the mess, dude. It's hard to keep everything clean when my parents aren't here to yell at me about it. Motivation! Personal motivation!
I love how fake the excuse is, even by his own admission. Like,
he's like,
sure it's hard to keep this place clean when no one tells me to. The lazy, crackly sound in his voice has returned full force. His eyes are distant. It's okay. Are you okay? He grins toothily.
Dude, I'm more than okay.
Since there's nowhere else to sit, I end up sitting down on the foot of his bed. Did they let you smoke in here? The the smell in his room is layered and old, like the walls have been blanketed in the smell several times before.
Yep. They give up on trying to stop me. Better to be in the house rather than getting caught by some cop outside. This made me promise I wouldn't ever try something harder.
His sin is sloth. Is that what this game is?
Oh, wait, huh? I was trying to think how many characters there were. I don't think it's the right number, so I think we're fine.
It's like a freaking Flynn is wrath.
Yeah, definitely.
TJ is judgmental little prick.
Envy. Envy.
Is it envy?
Maybe, I don't know.
I don't remember the sins very well.
Leo could be lust.
Leo was lust, I was about to say.
Good thing they don't know I've already tried dick. Something harder. Ha 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 ha. You're so funny, Carl.
That's pretty good. It's actually a pretty good joke. Like, I cut it off by not immediately letting you read it.
It's fine. I've done that to you a million times. But also, is he admitting to us that he's tried dick?
I don't
before?
know. He sure references a lot jokingly in a joking, funny way.
Sure, joke.
Definitely like me joking about furries in 2018.
Dude, I fucking knew already. I was like, wow, this person brings up furries quite a lot, don't they?
This guy sure is jokingly gay every 5 minutes. I wonder I wonder how this arc might end. It's a coin flip between gay sex or everyone dies? I don't know how this game goes.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I don't know where this is going yet.
You put a lot of emphasis on the K.
Dick.
As the... Good thing they don't know I've already tried some dick.
Dick. Some dick.
As the bad joke seems to just dribble out of his muzzle. Good thing they don't know I've already tried some dick.
Dick.
I can't get over how stupid this is. I lean back on the bed, and that's when I notice his flat screen. Just a 48 inch.
Back in that time period, that was already pretty good. That was pretty fucking good.
That's bigger than any screen I've ever owned, but that's because I quickly stopped caring about ever buying a TV.
My screen's not even that big, and
Yeah.
I'm in the future.
I'm like, I have computer monitors. Those are like TVs, but good. They're not that big, but
they're good.
I've never fucking been like, I can't watch Game of Thrones. It's so dark. I'm like, no, they're perfect. They're made for video games. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with everyone's TVs, but computer monitors are like TVs, but they work. Just a 48 inch. A list of video files displayed on it. Oh. Is it porn or snuff? Let's find out.
Or, I mean, those could be the same. So.
Oh. What you watching?
Oh.
It's called hentai and it's art. Carl grunts as he sits up and reaches for a game controller.
Our old home movies. That's way more wholesome than we thought.
Aww.
I was going to show you some of them. How about a birthday?
Sure. All right, he mentioned this earlier, didn't he?
Yeah,
we're just his dad was glued to a camera. Well, he does it first. He was the opening salvo with all the jokes. He scrolls down the list, then stops when Carl's 8th is highlighted and presses play. The backyard I was in an hour earlier pops up on the screen. This music. It's like a farewell slideshow from like a high school.
Oh my gosh, don't make me cringe like that.
Right before they played that one Green Day song every time.
At the time of your life song.
Time of your life.
Oh gosh.
Now a long table sits in the middle of the lawn, along with a massive bounce house. Shit. Not just any bounce house, it was a giant 2-story one you'd find at the state fair. They make 2-story bounce houses?
That's how you kill kids.
Being in the top story sounds scary, because the whole thing is...
how you kill kids,
the whole
dude.
thing is so not supportive.
Just start deflating it while they're in there, suffocate them all.
This music? The video is timestamped April 19th, 2002. Fuck, I remember this. There are about 20 kids, mostly in the bounce house, and most of whom I've forgotten. Right now, though, the camera is zooming in on an 8-year-old Carl.
It's probably very cute.
He's messing with a giant Nerf gun. The kind that no kid ever gets because they're so damn expensive. And that's when 8-year-old me enters the picture, holding a much smaller Nerf gun. He was that guy. You can play with the Mad Catz controller, Chase. His parents gave everyone a goodie bag that day. It had toys in it that I might not have been able to get on my own birthday. My kid self puts the gun to Carl's head and pulls the trigger, the dart bouncing off one of his horns. A good dart would have stuck, given stupid Mad Catz darts. I specifically remember that moment. I had thought the suction end of the dart was going to stick, but of course it didn't.
Well, I was going to retort with, like, maybe it's one of the ones that doesn't have the suction cup at the end, but then I saw that and I was like, oh, Keith's right.
The audio is filled with a deep chuckle. Carl's dad behind the camera.
You were a dick back then.
What? I was 8.
All 8-year-olds are dicks. Still, you blew out my candles. That is a pretty dickish thing to do.
He got so mad about that.
That's a mean thing to do.
I start to settle, but... Oh, 8th birthday.
You're stealing their wish away.
I should not have been confused about that. For some reason I was thinking they were in 8th grade.
Oh, no.
Which is very, very far off from 8th birthday.
We saw them in the 8th grade in like the last game.
They've known each other for so long. Was that 8th?
No, it was like...
No, they were in high school.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
So
I forget
he was like 10th grade,
I forgot the high school, 8th grade wasn't a part of high school for a second.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm old, guys.
Sold from the before times.
Yeah.
Pre-COVID. I start to settle back and I start to settle blah, 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 blah. I start to settle back and smile. It's been a long time since I've watched a home movie, and I've forgotten how nice it is to have this method of looking back. Kind of like when I get stuck on scrolling through all the old images on my phone. My younger self was trying to help Carl with the gun, lifting up the barrel and looking into the opening. Careful!
Yeah, don't do that.
Kid Chase pulls his head back with a jolt as Carl's dad yells, then mutters behind the camera. Let's see how long it takes him to trick Carl into trading with him. Carl's dad sounds exasperated but good-natured. It still makes me blush a bit, knowing how aware Jim was of my taking advantage of his son.
Oh gosh.
Phrasing. Our struggles with the Nerf gun gets the attention of another kid, though. My breath catches in my throat as Sydney bounces into frame. Oh.
Uh-oh.
We've made a mistake looking in the past. Goodbye, happy music.
Yeah,
fare thee well.
He left the room.
The air got sucked out of the room. I could feel Carl tensing up next to me, too. And he starts to lean for the game controller. And here comes the Mormon boy. The disgust in Carl's dad's voice shocks me, and I hear Carl whisper a curse next to me as he fumbles for the controller. Sydney reaches out and pulls the gun away from Carl, and he looks it over, grinning. That's probably Carl.
I think it's Carl's dad.
Hey! Probably. Suddenly, the screen switches back to the file menu, and we both sit there in silence for a few seconds.
Sorry. I guess I forgot that.
Of course Sydney was going to be at that party, but I'd honestly forgotten too. If there was any way to perfectly ruin the mood, that had been it. I glance over at Carl and see him looking down at the gamepad, ears lowered, the insides red. Hey, it's okay. I mean, maybe it's a good thing to watch.
My dad. I didn't know he'd say that. I'd rather not find out what else he said.
Oh, yeah. I look around trying to find something. Anything to distract us from what just happened. My eyes fall on the shelves holding Carl's game library. Want to play a game? I actually borrowed that game from Sydney.
Oh no!
Like
you picked the 1 out of 100 that was like
his
one
name's like
borrow?
on the disc or something in Sharpie.
Let's make it worse.
And shitty children's writing. It's just like old times, as we co-op through Winter Castle. I don't know what that might be a reference to.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that.
Like, Wolfenstein? Winter Castle. The fact that he still has the old save files from when he was in college makes it all the more nostalgic. I get so into it that it gets dark outside without me even knowing, and pretty soon I'm looking out at the purple sky reluctantly. About time I go back. Carl sighs and pauses the game before stretching and dropping the controller onto his bed.
Come on. Sure you can't stick around?
I don't know. I don't have any clothes or toothbrush.
You can use mine. We can walk over and get them.
Carl seems pretty determined to make me stay. And that's not what... And there's not one reason why I can't, so I relent. Alright. Yeah. This could be fun.
Yes.
Did he have no other plans with the group?
I was just thinking about that.
I was trying to think about like what everyone else is up to right now. I thought he was distracting Carl
for his birthday
as they plan a birthday thing.
But I mean, for the whole day? Did we forget to take Carl to his birthday?
Yeah, I'm like, I thought.
Well, I know we were there to get stuff for
this has been our whole day, right?
Yeah.
Like we came here.
Well, because we were there to get
dealt
stuff
with Flynn for a bit. There were some nut shots, and then sexual harassment, de-winding moment.
Yeah.
And then the crawl space, spider documents, relics. Then we just played video games all day.
Yeah, I really thought that it was implied that the purpose we were here was also to kind of distract.
That we had sooner plans. It's I would just generally assume there'd be more plans in general, just because like
you're only there for
a few. We're here for like maybe a week.
Yeah,
I'm guessing we're here for a week because the game tells you what day of the week it is as chapters.
That is a good guess.
So that usually means that that's the structure of the game. It's like when a game's like fall, you're like, oh, this game takes place in seasons.
Oh, there's gonna be 4.
Like The Last of Us Part 1 and Journey and so on. Carl looks happy and almost relieved.
It'll be just like old times.
He rolls to his hooves.
And speaking of old times, let's make a pizza.
I've suddenly caught Carl's enthusiasm.
Fuck, making your own pizza is so fun.
It is. It's good times.
Ooh, English muffin pizzas? I made those recently.
What?
But I burnt them. And I was really sad about it.
Wait. Oh, right. I always have to remember English muffins are weird.
Yeah.
You said English muffins, and my brain immediately goes to, like, the muffin part of the word. And I'm like, unacceptable.
No, I agree with that.
What are you talking about? I'm just...
Have you never had English muffin pizzas?
Aren't those those like the flattish ones that you cut in half, right?
Yeah.
Like those little guys?
You put sauce and cheese, and then you put like your own toppings on them?
You're kind of making a little pizza pocket.
Pizza
bagel. Like a bagel bite kind of pizza thing.
Yeah, well, it's nice because the English muffin's like kind of like it's sourdough kind of.
Yeah.
So it's like tart. Like it has a good crust. It's really fucking good. It's one of my favorite.
They're called muffins though, so I just had the horror of like a blueberry muffin pizza. Like, what monstrosities have you been up to?
Keith, you know me better than that.
You're like, I don't like cinnamon, but here's this horror that I eat.
I was watching the Muppets yesterday because I just do that sometimes, and there's a part where Miss Piggy orders a pizza and she's like bell peppers and onions and mushrooms and anchovies, and at the end she says little Hershey's Kisses, and I was like, no. For the love of God, Miss Piggy.
We go into the massive kitchen and pull a big frozen pizza from the fridge, and while it bakes we sit in the counter and talk. This is a lot of kitchen.
It's a nice kitchen, I can tell, even though it's blurry.
Yeah. At this point, the haze of pot has lifted from Carl's face, and he's animated and excited again, swiveling in one of the counter stools. For the first time in almost 10 years, I'm giddy and excited in a way you only get when you're at a sleepover. That makes it a little jarring when he pulls out some beers, but I'm happy to have a few, and we guzzle them down as we talk about past sleepovers. Pretty soon, our reminiscing drifts into the present, and that's when the conversation slows a bit. Carl having less to say, because he's not been up to anything. Oh, he's just hanging out indefinitely. Because he has no job, and he sits around smoking and playing video games, but also his friends left.
He's a neat.
He's a shit.
I
was trying to think of the Japanese shut-in.
Yeah, Kikamori.
Kikamori.
I was saying neat because he's neither employed in education or in training.
I didn't go to sleepovers as a kid. That's like mostly a foreign concept to me. I think I went to like 2.
Well, I did, but I mean, not to like. I feel like it's more of a girl thing. I don't know. Do boys do sleepovers? Is that a thing people do?
I think I just didn't have friends the entire like time period where you'd have sleepovers.
Too. I just don't hear about them as often.
Yeah. I try to change the subject and tell him that he should come back to school. He just smiles and shakes his head. The end. Pick another route. You failed.
Yeah, if you want to make someone feel shitty, tell them to go back to school.
It's the room, but blue. That means it's dark. 3 hours later, we're both laying back on Carl's bed, head to toe, having just watched a shitty action movie.
Why head to toe again? If you guys... Okay, whatever. You guys and your dumb head to toe sleeping, whatever.
Well, they're not sleeping, so I guess...
Yeah, so why are they head to toe then?
I guess just one of them's laying back and the other one's laying on his belly watching the movie.
I guess so.
Oh, they just watched the action movie. No, yeah, they're laying in bed to sleep, aren't they?
Yeah.
I thought that was just where they were. Yeah, what's with the head to toe? I have shared a bed with several dudes before.
At the same time?
And it was not like an issue. We didn't end up going to get my stuff, so I'm just in my boxers, pleasantly drowsy and buzzed. I hear Carl's snuffle and look back down my chest at him. What's up? He looks over at me and shrugs.
Oh, shirtless Carl.
Shirtless Carl.
Da-da. Cute little button boxers.
Button-up boxers. Was that a thing?
I feel like it'd be inconvenient if you're trying to pull your dick out.
Did they do anything, or are they cosmetic? Or?
I mean, why don't you just pull your dick out from over the band anyway?
That's another question. Does anyone on the planet use the fly on underwear?
Leave your answer in the comments, guys.
Drive my engagement. This has been your episodic question we remember to do every episode. Everybody respond.
I mean, to be completely honest, I genuinely don't know the answer to that, so I'm interested to hear people's responses because I don't have a dick, but I've never understood by looking at a pair of briefs or whatever why they wouldn't just do that.
No, I don't know why they have a fly. I'm confused by it. And then, yeah, like, I don't know. Like, jeans having a fly makes sense because you they're rigid enough that you need to, like, undo the jeans to get out of them, essentially. But, like underwear, it's like...
Is the idea that you leave your buttoned on jeans and then you pull your dick through the hole in the briefs and then through the zipper? Because that seems like that'd be sharp.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just thinking of pure chaos mode now. Somebody who leaves their belt on, but they unzip their jeans, and then they fish in through the fly of their underwear.
That's what I'm saying.
And like have to like snake it all out.
See, I want all the guys in the world to pee like Butters from South Park, where they pull their pants all the way down,
and then they hold their shirt over their face in the air.
Sing. Lulu, I got 2 apples. Lulu, you got 2 too.
He leaves his hat on.
Oh, that also is funny.
He's down to his underwear.
What does his hair look like?
But he just leaves his. This guy, he just looks like JonTron.
Oh no!
Like just in general, he just looks like JonTron.
Yeah, I can see it.
But he's just like left a bandana on or whatever this is. Beanie? I think they said it was a beanie.
Maybe he's
I don't know if
already.
I believe them when they say it's a beanie. It looks like more like a do-rag situation.
I'm sure they make them for
It doesn't look like it stretches, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
It looks like a piece of cloth.
It looks like the gaiters people wear around their faces.
Does he just leave it on forever?
He's bald under there.
What about? During our past sleepovers, Carl had always been afraid to be the last to fall asleep. He tried to keep me up by talking, rolling over on top of me, and sometimes just throwing shit at me.
So you're supposed to be afraid to be the first person to fall asleep. That's how you get, like, pranked, bro.
I wonder if that's what he's doing now.
I don't know. Life?
That's a lot to think about.
Not for me.
I look over at him again. He's holding one paw up, looking through his fingers at the ceiling fan. You're just figuring things out. Carl lets his arm flop down over his head, blowing out a sigh.
I'm not figuring things out, man.
I don't say anything. It's cool that he's reaching out to me, but I'm not sure I can offer any advice that he hasn't heard before.
I I just wish I could be doing something.
I think for a moment. You've done a lot more than some people I know. I mean, your art is great. You did go to school even if you dropped out, and you were working while you could. There are a lot of people out there who can't even say that. Working while he could.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that too.
Like, do I not know something? Or do they just mean that the car was broken? Carl laughs, but it's a sad kind of laugh.
Try saying that to my mom. She's always got something to do, always wants to do something. I just don't feel that.
You should become a YouTuber. I hear you can make a living from home that way. And playing video games for a living?
Everyone's doing it.
You could smoke at your job.
Why do I even have a job anymore?
This is like 2014, right? I'm trying to remember. 2015, I think. Yeah, it's after I started. I was already doing it back then. I started in 2011, and I started doing this channel in 2013. And so I got a 3-year head start. Dude, the PS4 is already out.
So much opportunity.
Oh my god. He turns his head towards me.
I wish I did, Chase, but I just can't.
His voice catches in his throat, and I shrink a bit into the bed and pretend not to notice. The beer we've had is definitely partly to blame for this. He turns his head towards the wall, though, and I'm guiltily relieved that when he talks again, his voice is under control.
I just wish it wasn't such a goddamn chore for me to just go outside, you know?
I didn't know, but I nod anyway, even if he can't see it. He's waiting for me to say something, though, so I clear my throat. Oh.
Oh, fuck.
Do 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 do. How many pages are there? Oh yeah, this is where I'm saving the choices. You can see because all of the saves have choices on them. Just good to have. Well.
Okay. This is tricky. Because I honestly very much relate to this, because I feel like a loser all the time, even though I know I'm not.
Yeah, you're really busy all the time.
I know, but the thing is like I had a lot of friends that went to like really prestigious colleges after high school, and because of like some family situations, like I couldn't do that, even though I got accepted into some decent colleges. So I got kind of stuck in like, I mean, it's fine. I got stuck working my ass off forever, you know. But it's like I always feel like I should be doing something better, and I always like I get on myself like this all the time. Now I think you saying you have a problem, I don't think it's in relation to. I feel like it's you talking about him smoking weed, but I don't know if that is what you're talking about.
I don't know if it's him smoking weed. It's just him not doing anything about his situation.
I mean, I don't think it's fine. Sounds like a cop out. So yeah. I don't think that's what we should do. But I'm just hoping that saying you have a problem isn't talking about him smoking weed, because I think that I think that's honestly pretty helpful for some people. Like I get it. I get why that is helpful. I understand that it's not great to be stoned all the time. Weed. Yeah, exactly. You can't do that always, because I mean, it's helpful, but you're avoiding your problems if you're doing that all the time. Because I guarantee you're not thinking of your problems when you're really high, and I know because I don't think of my problems when I'm really high. But it's like that also, you don't feel the urgency and the guilt to do things when you're high. So if you're high all the time, you really aren't progressing. I just don't think that we should be criticizing him on that. So I hope that when we say you have a problem, which is the choice I think we should make, I hope that it's not us criticizing him just for smoking weed. It's more so about his like him finding a way to be happy. Like, you have a problem.
You're aging and you'll never unage.
Oh God, no, Keith, don't trigger me right now. That'll compound all my fucking guilt complexes. But it's like, so I think we should say you have a problem, and I think it should be like, you have a problem in the sense that I think that you need to find a way to be happy. You should talk to someone. You should stop hating yourself. Like, I don't think the problem should be like, you're a drug addict. Because if we say that, I'm going to be really disappointed.
Yeah. It's also not even the situation of, like, you need to be productive under the capitalist system, and you need to prove your worth to a system that won't love you back. It's like, no, it's just that you're literally you're just sitting here and you're not happy about it. And it's like, you need to just do something ever at some point. He could take this so badly, potentially.
Well,
don't take this the wrong way, but maybe you could see a therapist.
Saying it's fine really sounds like you don't care. Like, it's the thing. It's the thing is, like, if you don't, if you're this person's friend,
it's enabling,
and you just say everything's fine. I really don't think it's acknowledging that this person's admitting to you that they have a problem. It's brushing it under the rug.
Yeah. He snorts and finally turns his head to look back at me, his horns bumping the wall loudly.
Kunk, kunk. Huh. I already do. I thought they'd just give me a pill to make things better, but apparently I have to actually make an effort too. And I'm like, isn't that why I'm seeing you, for the whole making an effort thing?
I laugh along with him. Yeah, I can remember what that's like. He watches me for a few seconds.
So are all those problems you had taken care of now?
Oh, right. Because we haven't talked about whatever the hell has gone on with Chase.
Yeah. And honestly, that's going to be the hardest thing to figure out, because our context clues for this are probably the least apparent. It's
the thing that all of our friends know about and none of them want to talk about, on top of Sydney, is whatever happened with Chase in general.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if we get into that with TJ, because he seems to be the one that's most fucked up over it too. I hope so. We lay in silence for a little while before I finally speak up. Listen, I'll probably come back a few times this week to work with that history stuff. Well, why don't we go out and do something?
That would be nice.
I grin, glad at making Carl feel better. Cool. Let's plan on it.
Oh.
Carl puts his paws behind his head and smiles.
It's cool that you're here, Chase.
It's cool to be here, Carl.
And not just because it's nice to have someone to talk to.
Oh?
No. This house is fucking haunted. Well, let's go to sleep now. Da, 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 da. I like how he plays with his horns when he's all bashful. It's kind of like he's playing with his hair.
I don't remember falling asleep, but it's at that moment that something wakes me up. Whatever moment that is. Some moment. That moment. I jolt, then lay there, trying to remember where I am. Carl's house. That's right. I stare at the ceiling, wondering what time it is. I don't bother to look at my phone, though, because I'm already starting to fall back asleep. A scraping noise from beneath me makes me jump, and I prop myself up on my elbows, listening. Looking over, I see Carl's staring at the ceiling, eyes wide. Carl? I whisper it, and I'm not sure why. He jumps, then looks at me, confused. It's like he'd just woken up.
Huh?
Are you okay?
Yeah, what's wrong?
I think I hear something. His floppy ears perk up.
I don't...
Then his eyes widen. Although I didn't hear anything right then, he definitely did. You hear it?
Yeah. Like a scraping noise I told you about?
Yeah. He looks happy.
So I'm not fucking crazy.
We both sit there and listen for a while, but it sounds like it stopped.
Wanna go see what?
Suddenly his eyes widen and his muzzle drops open in shock. I stare back. What?
Did you fucking hear that?
I listen, feeling my heartbeat pick up now that Carl looks fucking terrified and I don't hear anything. What?
A fucking voice.
The fur raises up all over my body as I listen, but nothing. Carl definitely seems convinced though, so I listen harder. I just start to make out what might be a voice when Carl sits up next to me and gets off the bed. I feel myself start to panic. Did some crazy hobo break into the house? Carl gets off the couch.
Come on.
What? What the fuck are we gonna do? Let's call the cops.
No. Let's make sure first. This has happened before.
What? What do you mean? He puts up a finger to his lips.
Grab something.
What? I follow Carl out into the kitchen and he starts rummaging through the drawers. I follow him, hugging my shoulders, feeling a lot colder right now. With the sound of metal sliding against metal, Carl pulls out a giant steak knife. What the fuck?
Dude, I've been hearing this shit for the past month, and I've been too scared to go down there. But now with you here...
He flashes me a smile.
I'm gonna find out what the fuck this is. Here.
He reaches into a spot between the fridge and the wall and pulls out a broom before sticking it out to me.
He's a knife. We get a fucking broom, guys.
Well, it's bigger.
I mean, I guess.
I take it slowly. What the hell am I supposed to do with this?
Hit him. Come on.
Carl starts down the stairs and I follow behind, holding the broomstick in front of me like a sword. I've never had to hit anyone with a stick before. I have no idea what I'm doing. Once we get to the small door leading down to the crawl space, Carl pauses and we both listen. It's silent for a while, then... Shit. Carl looks at me like I'm crazy, not reacting to the noise at all.
Shh.
He leans down, a paw on the handle. Looking back at me, he signals me with his eyes to be ready. I grip onto the broom like a lifeline as I wait for him to swing the door open, and when he does... Darkness.
Shit.
So whatever's down here is just slinking around in the complete darkness?
Hey.
Carl says it unconvincingly. I don't think you really mean hey. the fear clear in his voice. Then after looking back at me...
Fuck it.
He jumps down into the crawl space, disappearing into the dark. Carl! I stumble up to the edge of the steps, trying to squint into the black. I hear Carl to the right, rustling around and cursing. That's when the light floods the crawl space. I quickly wobble down the steps, knowing that if whatever is down here is going to try to escape, it would be running right into me. Finally, I have a moment to catch my breath, standing several feet behind Carl as I look around, broom at the ready.
There's nothing here. What the fuck?
Sure enough, the crawl space looks empty. There aren't many places to hide, either. What the hell's going on, Carl? But he doesn't answer me. He's staring at the bins.
Did you put the bins back?
I look down, but the bins are gone. I look back at where they were originally, and sure enough, they're neatly stacked right where we found them. I honestly don't remember. Did I move them back? Maybe it would be something I might do. I try, but I just can't remember. Maybe?
Dude, come on.
I really don't remember. Carl walks further toward the back, ears perked, looking left and right as he clutches his knife. I start to follow, but that's when I notice something at the left of my vision, on the ground. Looking down, I see something fat and hairy, ambling slowly over the tarp. A giant fucking tarantula.
Oh.
The following few moments are a blur, but the next thing I know, I'm going up the stairs on my feet and paws, grabbing at the door frame to pull myself up.
Chase, what happened?
I can hear him running up behind me, so I turn to warn him. Look out! A big spider! The breath keeps catching in my throat. I think I'm hyperventilating. I'm still clutching at the door frame as Carl follows up behind me, his eyes wide.
What? Come on, Chase, this is crazy.
No, huge, a blonde.
A blonde, this type of tarantula. It's usually in the American desert, so knowing it's like a Tucson blonde is like a type of.
Is it actually blonde?
It's like a, yeah, it has like blonde hairs, I guess, yellowish hairs. No fucking way.
Now he looks excited and he turns back to the crawl space. He's like, "Oh fuck! I got a blonde. Let's go."
Oh, blonde babe.
I'm gonna catch a shiny. I feel numb right now. This is all too much to handle. What the fuck is even going on?
Which way?
Shakily, I point towards where the spider was crawling. Carl squints, then walks down the steps, looking around. I'm gonna go hunt tarantulas in my underwear?
Like I said, that's what I want to go do that. Like, I'd go do that.
Careful.
If it was really a blonde, there's not much to worry about. I hear they're actually pretty gentle. Oh, but pretty much all the tarantulas you'll find that are terrestrial are pretty chill, dude.
I gulp and don't say anything. My head is pounding and buzzing, which, for some reason, doesn't exactly feel like it has anything to do with the adrenaline rush. It's more like a bad headache. Carl looks around a while longer while I focus on the steps, making sure nothing starts crawling up them. I don't even care about the possible hobo anymore.
Dude, a hobo would do... Essentially, a hobo would do way worse to you than a tarantula ever could. You should not be afraid of the tarantula. You should be afraid of a person being down there.
Well, he has a phobia of the tarantula, and also
your phobia
he
is
saw
stupid.
it.
If a person is
the
much
hobo's
scarier,
probably not real.
Have a phobia of people.
Finally, Carl comes back, looking confused.
Well, there's nothing there. You know, sometimes I see shit when I'm really tired. Want to go back upstairs?
And then I hear shit, and then I get possessed, and I stare at the ceiling, and there's nothing there. This can't be happening again.
Oh, yeah, because you have, I forgot.
Wednesday party!
Yeah, so I guess it was a whole day. That
I guess it was a whole ass day. This is a surprisingly undense trip, as far as plans go. I open my eyes slowly. The pressure in my head tells me I didn't get nearly enough sleep. Not really a surprise considering we were both up until 3. And our own ghost adventure a few hours later didn't help things. I hear the doorbell and realize that's what had woken me up. Groaning, I reach under my pillow and feel around for a few seconds before I find my phone. The lump that is Carl under the blankets near my feet doesn't even budge. That was the cool thing about having Carl as a roommate. He slept like a fucking rock. Especially when the spiders get him. I did pretty much anything I wanted to and didn't have to worry about him reporting me to the RA. Even something like jerking off. Well.
What's an RA? That's the, it's like the... Because you talk about being in college, RA is like the person who like runs the floor or dormitory or something.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
Resident
adult.
The grown
How many
up.
times have you jerked off in the same bed as Carl? Just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
That only happened a few times though.
A few times though.
Chase. The rabbit I'm rooming with now has a different story.
Can't jack off in front of the rabbit. He feels everything, man.
Again, the doorbell. Sorry, I was too busy thinking about jacking off in bed with Carl.
He answered the door. Sorry, I was thinking about jacking off. I couldn't answer the door.
I glance at my phone. 10 a.m. I also notice I have 5 texts and 2 calls.
Gosh, immediate stress.
Hey. Sorry. Hey. On the way to Carl's house for surprise party. Make sure you're ready. Hello?
Uh-oh.
That sounds like the reverse of a surprise party.
Yeah, aren't you supposed to, like, lure Carl somewhere and not just show up to his house? I feel like that's pretty intrusive. I'd be pissed if somebody threw a surprise party, but they showed up at my house, like, and rang the doorbell. They're like, we're here for the party. Is that what's going on? And I'm like, yeah, that's what they're saying.
Oh, are they all coming here for the party?
That's stupid.
Oh.
Like I said, I'd be super
pissed. I thought Leo was
pissed
picking us up.
if I was, like, at home and somebody, like, they all show up at my door, like, surprise party! I'd lock the door. I'd say, no.
Yeah. And you're not, none of you are my friends anymore. Go away.
You expect me to come in here and host you guys? That is, like, a burden. Don't do this to me.
I look down, then nudge some part of Carl with my foot. Judging by the thickness and consistency, I'm pretty sure it's his ass.
I felt it so many times before.
How big is this bed? What angle are you at that your foot can nudge his ass? He's got a fucking California king. This rich-ass kid.
Yeah, I mean, he's a rich-ass kid, yeah.
Chase is just, like, diagonal on it or something. I'm like, how are you nudging his ass? He grunts.
What?
I think someone's at the door. He doesn't say anything, and a few seconds later, his guttural snores start up again.
Oh no!
They're not doing good at this. This time I really dig my foot in and he yelps loudly, sitting up so fast his horns bang against the wall. Do they have to, like, plate? Does he need to, like, plate his wall? Like, around there?
I do imagine that would fuck up your wall.
You think he'd have a headrest? Or,
Yes.
what's it called? A backboard. There we go.
Headboard?
Headboard. There we go.
There we go. We figured it out together.
We made it. He squints against the sunlight pouring in between the blinds, which turns his emerald eyes into an almost mint green.
Beautiful.
He raises a paw to block the light and looks at me, frowning.
What the hell was that?
The doorbell goes off again. Door. Carl blinks at me, then slumps back down on his pillow, waving a paw lazily in the air.
Gosh, let it ring. They'll go away eventually.
Huh? Are you sure? He flops his paw around again.
Solicitor, trust me. They see this house and make a beeline. No one else ever visits. That's sad.
They did not plan this out.
Also, that makes sense that Carl would feel that way.
Yeah.
So
no one expects someone to show up at their door unexpected and then be somebody you expect to open the door to. Like, your friends don't just show up at your house unannounced, so there's no reason he would think that anything good comes of this. I sigh, looking back down at my phone. Oh, look, Leo texted me. It's probably him at the door. I guess my tone of surprise was a little too fake because Carl sits up and eyes me suspiciously.
Well, you can go ahead and answer it. You're allowed to touch my door.
I sigh a little harder this time. Damn it, Carl. Fine, they're planning a surprise birthday party for you. So go down there, answer the door, and act surprised.
What?
But Carl's not just confused, he looks genuinely upset. He leans into the corner and pulls up the blanket, like he's preparing to ward off the boogeyman.
My birthday is until next month. Oh no!
But it's when everyone's here.
Oh yeah, I remember they did say that. I just thought maybe he feels bad, like they fucked it up.
Yeah. I pause, watching him. I know, but we didn't have much to do, so Leo thought... So much door ringing.
Stressful. Stress.
I slide off the bed and start pulling on my jeans and a shirt. Come on, I'll go down with you. Carl covers his face and rubs hard, the short fur on his muzzle bristling out in little spikes around his fingers.
I wanted to relax today, you know?
Isn't that every day for you? Chase. Not the best response.
This is like me when I make plans with people and then I get to that day and I don't want to do them anymore. I'm like, I just want to be alone today. I'm so tired. Like my band, like I'm exhausted from socializing. I don't want to do this, but it's like I have an obligation now. And so why did I make these plans a week ago? I hate this.
For me, it's just like
I hope they cancel. I hope they cancel.
I always plan. I'm always thinking ahead of how my day's gonna go or how my week's gonna go, even if I don't meet my own goals necessarily. So like surprises, fuck up. I have to like sit there and recalibrate for a while, like the shittiest GPS, where I'm like I'm not ready for. I'm gonna say yes to this thing because I always say yes to everything, but also fuck, I thought I was gonna do all this stuff today, and it's like a surprise party would be horrible. No, that's your day.
I hate this idea already because, oh my gosh.
I laugh to lighten the jab, but Carl just frowns.
Well, not with you.
Aww, because we were just gonna hang out together like buds without everybody else. He's gonna monopolize our friendship in this group thing.
When everyone's here to see each
because
other.
We're in his route, aren't we? Quick, send them all away or we won't get to romance Carl.
Maybe you have the option. Let's see.
His heart meter is waning. I'm starting to wonder if all this isolation has worsened Carl's issues. If he really has gotten the help he needs. That all of his hiding out has just blanketed the problem and let it fester underneath. We can relax. We're all friends here, Carl. Come on. It's just, you know, all your favorite people will be there, like Flynn and
Flynn
and other relaxing people.
And Flynn.
Like Flynn.
And AJ who'll get bullied by Flynn.
Yeah. Flynn will have a scene. And then like,
where he talks about
and Jenna will remind you about your failures. And
Yeah, by
Leo will
talking about-
ignore you because he
Oh,
wants
gosh.
me.
Yeah, Leo's kind of like ignores everyone but you.
It's really blatant. It's a problem. I pick up his clothes left on the floor just yesterday and toss them at him. I'm at least relieved to see him putting them on, even if it's reluctant. My phone buzzes a few more times, but I ignore it and patiently wait for Carl to finish getting dressed. Just text them. Just tell them to stop. Just tell them to hang out for a minute. Yeah.
Just be like, hey, just give us a sec. Like,
Yeah. I think this will be a lot of fun. He doesn't say anything as he slowly rolls off the bed and pulls on his shorts. Well,
surprise!
get ready for this.
Carl's getting ready for this. He's not happy about it.